Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. So let's get there. Hit subscribe. Also hit your notifications, watch and share these episodes because there's so much going on. And I want to go back for a day or two and talk about Wednesday when Speaker Mike Johnson, MAGA Mike Johnson, removed Representative Mike Turner as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, which represents the knife fighting that we are already beginning to see in the Trump administration. Something that we saw a lot of, remember, in 2017. Now, Mike Johnson, of course, goes on to say that it was a House decision, not Trump's, which I'm sure none of us believe or acknowledge. Play that clip.
Mr. Speaker, do you have any comment on why did you remove Mike Turner as Intel chief?
It's new Congress. We just need fresh horses in some of these places. But I'm a Mike Turner fan. He's done a great job. He performed valiantly.
Watch on the steps.
In a difficult time under difficult circumstances. So I have nothing but positive things to say about my friend.
Did Trump have any opinion on that?
Did President-elect Trump urge you to not?
This is not a President Trump decision. This is a House decision, and this is no slight whatsoever to our outgoing chairman. He did a great job. But we just, the intelligence community and everything related to HIPSI, it needs a fresh start, and that's what this is about, nothing else. So I have nothing negative to say about Mike Turner at all. He's a good man, a good colleague. I respect his work. He's going to continue to be my appointee with everything regarding to NATO, and they're hosting a big summit, so to speak, of the NATO in his district in Dayton coming up, and he will continue to be the face and the voice for us in Congress to our NATO allies about paying their dues and doing what they need to do, and he's very effective at that.
Look, it's why I constantly tell you to subscribe to this channel. Stay with me as I'm trying to explain. Mike Johnson is lying to the American people. Mike Johnson is lying to the American people via the press. And while I understand the questions, and nobody has that one-on-one capability with him right now, the reason that Mike Turner was removed is because Donald Trump wanted him removed. Now, Mike Turner and many Republicans and Democrats are really unhappy about this decision. Alyssa Farah Griffin, who was former Trump employee, made it crystal clear that Mike Turner was an enemy to Trump. Hence, of course, the removal. And while I appreciate MAGA Mike Johnson turning around and saying that he's a good guy, he was a good colleague, that things have to change, I'm pretty sure MAGA Mike didn't want to see change with the new Congress for, let's say, Speaker of the House. Play the clip.
Well, listen, Mike Turner voted with Donald Trump about 90% of the time in the first administration. So this is someone who is a deeply conservative member, somebody who's always been respected with the rank and file in the House GOP. But he's someone who's acknowledged Russia's interfered in our elections and attempted to. He's somebody who's been very skeptical of TikTok and, to your point, supports aid to Ukraine. So on some of these top line issues that would come before the Intel Committee or that they may touch, he's not aligned with Donald Trump. And as Lauren said, yes, the Intel Committee has largely remained above the political fray. Not more recently, though. Devin Nunes was known for really politicizing the committee. Adam Schiff on the left, I think many would argue, politicized it at times. And I think Donald Trump wants someone who represents his perspective and his point of view in that position. And it shows that Mike Johnson's going to cater to what Donald Trump wants once he's sworn in.
Damn straight he is. As somebody who testified 3 times before HIPSI, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, 3 times, I can tell you, in fact, that both Devin Nunes and Adam Schiff were both partisan, and it was a politicization during those hearings. Now, Representative Jim Hines, who's a ranking member of the committee, said that it made it crystal clear that you would have to be out of your mind not to believe that if you check Trump, you're going to get fired. Play the clip.
Mike Turner knew more about, the national security of the United States than any 20 members of Congress wander in these halls. So we lost a huge amount of experience there. But I This place used to be considered a check and a balance on the power of the president. That's why we exist. And the message just went out that if you check this president, you're fired. Does Rick stand up? Does he issue a subpoena? You know, what happened yesterday doesn't bode well for the job tenure of somebody who may do something that President Trump doesn't want them to do.
Interesting, right? That's a Democrat talking about a Republican. Now, Congressman Jamie Raskin pointed out that Turner has voted with Democrats, which is what made him into an enemy of Trump. Trump doesn't want any bipartisanship. At least that's what Jamie Raskin and others are saying, that he wants it one way, and that's his way. Play that clip.
He's struck by this.
Well, none of the autocrats want him. The autocrats in Mar-a-Lago don't want him. The autocrats in Moscow don't want him. Look, he's been pro-Ukraine. He's voted with the Democrats for aid to Ukraine. He was a great mayor of Dayton who had a real bipartisan history and base of support. And after the terrible gun violence that took place in Dayton, he came out for an assault weapon ban. He's someone who's extremely popular with Democrats. Who knows what's going to happen at this point. But that's a terrible affront and indignity to a guy who had at least one more term as chair of the Intelligence Committee. And to have the Republican Party just turn their backs on him like that and disown him is a major rupture in the political fabric of the House of Representatives. It'll be very interesting to see what happens now because he has a lot of friends on the Democratic side of the aisle.
Yeah. By the way, again, another highly respected Democrat on the committee who's turning around and saying that thanks to people like Mike Turner, that there was bipartisanship and that there was a check on the executive office. Now, lastly, Adam Schiff points out that we are seeing, and you could close your eyes, you could pretend that it's not real, but they are showing you that Donald J. Trump, to be inaugurated in merely 3 days, has a major influence over the House. Play that clip.
And so Johnson is here doing the bidding of Donald Trump, removes Mike Turner. We already saw in some of the other choices for appointment to the Intelligence Committee that the Speaker made last session, putting people like Scott Perry on the committee, like Ronnie Jackson on the committee, not folks that we can have a lot of confidence in upholding that responsibility on that committee, that Trump has really already had his way in choosing to change the character of that committee. So I think we're seeing Donald Trump both as president-elect and in some sense as a alter ego for Speaker, exerting extraordinary influence over the House.
It's not just extraordinary influence over the House that Donald Trump is already demonstrating. It's also over the Senate. It's over the judiciary. And this is the danger that if you've read any aspect of Project 2025, you know, that 900 plus page manifesto on how to overturn, how to destroy America's democratic republic. This is one way that you do it. You place loyalists in every important sector of government. And these people are so loyal, not to the Constitution, not to the American people, not to the United States of America, but to one man. And if you don't understand what that means, that basically means pledging loyalty to the king. Now, again, we're all talking hypothetical here. We don't know what will happen in a mere 3 days when Donald Trump ends up being inaugurated. But when you do move somebody like the chairman, Mike Turner, you have to understand that nothing good, that there's nobody right now that could have replaced him and been as proactive, bipartisan as he. And again, isn't that what we really want in our government? Bipartisanship, so that we can actually pass things for the benefit of the American people? And I think you'd say the answer to that is yes. And so do I. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.